What does Catherine look so stressed about? This adventurer didn't pass the interview either. Wonder what's wrong. Did someone not pass the guild review? Ah, Trailblazer. Oh, I'm afraid this isn't really guild affair, but I'm sure you've heard of the full name of the Fontaine Research Institute is Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering. Before the explosion, it was the technological center of the entire court of Fontaine. Yeah, I think I've heard that before. Paimon remembers someone named Edwin made a mistake and there was an explosion at the Fontaine Research Institute, right? Commissioned from a place that blew up once? Sounds dangerous. That is true. According to the Fontaine Research Institute, the commission is rather difficult, and not just for anyone. So those who want to give it a try must go through the special location to undergo a series of qualification reviews, and they must prepare their own documents and certifications. Is a Mondstadt flying license acceptable? As an addendum, yes. They actually have a lot of documents that you must bring. The list includes your current and previous adventure handbooks, your commission from the last 80 days, and more. Some of them even require stamps from the Maison Gaston. And that's not all. Even if adventurers have the documents and proofs ready to arrive at the specified location to be reviewed, they will not be able to accept the commission if they fail just one item of the qualification review. If the adventurer is not willing to accept the other work arrangements, then they will be rejected. Wow, it sounds really strict. Yes, a lot of them went off excitedly, only to return angry. This commission has become so infamous that no one wants to review it anymore. I'm kind of interested. You want to be reviewed? That would be a huge help. Don't get too excited. Thank you for lending the guild your aid. Please wait here while I get all the required documents ready for you. Do you have a pen? Oh, don't worry. I've got a few bottles of ink. A few bottles? Is that not enough? I can't say, but don't worry. I'm very familiar with these documents, so just follow my instructions. First, one proof of your adventurer's qualifications, one 30-day travel history, and one registration of past and current adventure handbook serial numbers. Now for your commission history, income statement, commission evaluations, commission statistics, and average positive ratings. For your resume, fill in the habitual residence, contact address, contact information, emergency contact, your current name, names you've used in the past, any pseudonyms and aliases that you use when you want to conceal your identity. Now you have to sign the good faith agreement, a notice of liability, a notice of obligation, a notice of exemption of information release for legal purposes, and wow, this monologue's great. Just give us another. Wow, that's a lot of documents. With Catherine's help, you start by filling out the forms, alternating between hesitance and doubt. You use a bottle after bottle of ink, but the stack of forms gradually shrinks. As you finish the last one, Catherine breathes a sigh of relief. Got a Pika Pika. Pokemon in the chat. Pikaman, Poka, Pika, whatever. Pikachu in Pokemon. Finally, since this commission is complete then, it hasn't even started, Paimon. Paimon didn't think this commission would be so troublesome, but if we don't go to the review, then we've wasted our time. Well then, we'll leave this commission to you. I haven't even passed the qualification review yet. You'll be fine, I believe. As the receptionist of the Adventurers Guild, I know what you're capable of. If Fontaine Research Institute rejects you, then there is no one left in Fontaine who can take this commission. I'll mark the location on the map, go there, and find someone named Desnos, who's stationed there, and will guide you. Thank you, Evgen. You've done the guild a huge favor. If possible, I prefer not to have to stamp a single adventure qualification more. The way this is going, I'm going to wear the stamp right out. Sort of contraption. Switch. There's one of these here. Cipher letter. Life is a dark calamity. and the wise always take orders from the fools. I am but an amateur actor who is no longer able to play a part on the stage anymore. Ciphered letters are a useless invention, just like the initial skill sample number 2. Oh, can we activate the chest with that? That's fun. Okay. Anything else over here to look at? So we came down this way. Okay. Oh, he looks like he's in trouble.
流通のために作られた船は港に止まる。だからリーウェはあらゆる富が雨描きがたし。はい。かかれ。痛がっちゃい。
Save this person. There's no end to these stupid mecha. Oh, my lovely muscular legs are now full of these horrid welts and bruises. Thank you, friend. If it weren't for you, I'd be taking a beating from those mecha. Oh, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Desnos, a member of the Fontaine Research Institute and assistant researcher, or I used to be. Now I'm responsible for receiving adventurers who come here for recruitment and conducting preliminary qualification reviews. They're called preliminary qualification reviews, but it's more than me just checking to see if they're carrying all the proper documents with them. So tell me about the commission. Ah, you're here for the recruitment too? Sorry, please excuse my manners. Let's take business then. Did you bring all the documents with you? If not, I can help you with the ones you're missing. Yeah, I got them all here. Good, let's see. Proof of adventure qualifications, a 30-day travel history, nice and clear. This will do just fine. Oh, I notice you've only got one adventure handbook with you. I'm going to need to show me all the adventure handbooks you've used and carefully and are currently using so I can take a photo of them. This is the only one I have. Well, you're quite the young and promising one then. No matter. It's easier having everything in one book anyways. For now, your commission history, income statement, commission evaluation information, commission statistics, and average positive ratings. You're very hardworking, and you've quite the income, too. Good faith commitment and a notice of liability, a notice of obligation, a notice of exemptions, and information release for legal purposes. The last one wasn't really that necessary, but still, oh well, still. Very good, all done. All your documents are with you, thanks heavens. You're the only candidate with the past 2 weeks who actually prepared all the proper documents. Now all you need to do is go to the Fontaine Research Institute and undergo a final review. I was meant to be the one to take you there, but those stupid mechas injured my leg. It's okay. Tell us where it is, and we'll head over there, right over there ourselves. Sounds good. I'll mark the location down on your map. Oh, and by the way, I suggest you head straight to the roof and talk to Mr. Knacker. The Institute sent him to work with the area. You can go talk with him. There are lots of clockwork mecha nearby wilds, and he's definitely going to need a formidable guard. Wait, you haven't passed your final review yet. Why are you assigning us work already? There's no compensation either. Well now, just hear me out. Mr. Knacker is a senior researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute, who once even did research under Edwin, so he's got some sway at the Institute. If I were to get along well with him and incidentally demonstrate your capabilities to him to prove your worth, then you're going to have a much better chances of passing the review. So what you're saying is we should help this Mr. Knacker and thank him for the privilege while we're at it? Precisely. You can tell him, before arriving at the Fontaine Research Institute for the final review, Mr. Desmos has first tasked me with being your guard and ensuring your safety. Anyway, I hope you won't hold you up any longer. You should be on the roof. I've still got to... Oh, my leg, those stupid mecha. Fontaine Research Institute Chronicles. Yay. External Reconstruction Support FAQ. Require documents registration for information for adventurers. Temporary. Blah 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 blah. Tired of reading that same block of text. Project proposal. To support the development of research at the Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Engineering has been decided through internal discussions to initiate Phase 2 expansion of the Events Institute, with senior research Ramondo Hivenport in charge of said project. After thorough investigation, augmentation analysis and research, it has been concluded that the eastern region of Liffey has a favorable geography, excellent transportation conditions, and faces no threat from wild monsters, making it a highly suitable location for the Second Fontaine Research Institute. The project is currently suspended because Ramondo Havenport has been transferred to the position of senior technician for the Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Engineering. During Phase 2 of the Fontaine Research Institute expansion product construction, workers discovered an undocumented human excavated tunnel that led to the private lab of the deceased senior researcher, Bravius. The research facility was found undamaged. The Maison Gaston has been briefed, pending further action. Interesting. Some clues. Clues about what we're up for. Have you anything else to say, dude? Darn it, who in the world designed these mecha here? Why are we having the preliminary review, by the way? Why not conduct a review of the Fontaine Research Institute, you mean? Well, it's because that huge explosion, of course. After the Institute blew up, the roads that led here to the Court of Fontaine were cut off for the most part, not to mention the area around the Institute itself. They're a total mess. This is where Mr. Ramondo's project team was originally located, a place far enough from the center of the explosion not to be greatly impacted by it, meaning lots of people who are still alive. You know what I mean? Even though the most of the Fontaine Research Institute was destroyed, our offices must continue operating. Otherwise, who will rebuild it? That is why they had him go back urgently, and also made the decision to seek assistance from adventurers. We're also following the Institute's orders and are happy to receive adventurers that come here to apply. Although many areas around the Institute have been cleaned up, it's about time we return to our offices. Mr. Cholstu has slated otherwise. There are many things to do, and we should focus on bigger picture. Stay where you are if possible. And just like that, our tiny office would end up staying right here. I seriously wonder when I'll be able to return to the Institute. Why is the music so tired? Ooh, song. Got a song disc though, that's cool. He wants to go to the roof. So he's just upstairs, okay. Now suddenly there are people here that weren't here before. That's okay. I've said this many times, Miss Chlorine. Rebuilding the Fontaine Research Institute is our only goal right now. You've said the same thing 3 times now. I don't know too well that when you guys keep repeating things like robots, there's definitely something big that you're trying to hide. Think what you like. As for the numerous issues you mentioned earlier, I suggest you go talk to Mr. Ramondo. Wait. What? Is he going to tell me all the things from Fontaine Research Institute is hiding? No, but his ways of beating around the bush might be more sincere. You! Anyway, Miss Chlorine, I have my own business to attend to. The one next to me has been waiting for quite some time now. Hello. Can I help you? Are you Mr. Knacker? Yes, I am. There's a sauce buck in chat. Introduce yourself to Knacker and describe the final review situation. Upon mentioning Desnos, you remember what he last told you. Before formally arriving at the Research Institute for the final review, Mr. Desmos has first tasked me with being your guard and ensuring your safety. I see. Well, thank you for replying, Miss Traveler. And I suppose I must also thank Miss Desnos' injured leg. Wilds around here do pose many dangers, and having adventurers capable of passing the preliminary qualification review by my side would be a lot safer. Can't act like I didn't hear that. What dangers are there exactly, if I may ask? According to investigations, last of Archeum flew out of the Institute when it exploded. Will the uncontrolled Archeum radiate energy? Will it contaminate the surrounding environment? Whoa! Wouldn't this entire area be contaminated then? I suddenly feel sort of breath. That's just your imagination at work. After leaving this cataclysmic environment, Archeum immediately returned to an inert state. It won't radiate any contamination anymore. It's apparent that Miss Chlorine's way of phrasing her concerns brought you unnecessary misunderstanding. Miss Traveler, may I take another look at your documents? If you really wish to escort me, then we'll have to take something of a detour. I'm going to take a few nearby places to review the technological assets of the Institute and nab some documents along the way. Who is this lady next to you? Some reporter, that's all. Indeed, this is what I am. A great honor to meet you. Miss Traveler, I've heard your name from my colleagues many times before. I am Clorind, a journalist from the political affairs section of the Steambird. If you have time, could we arrange some time to have a chat? And of course, Miss Paimon is also welcome to join. I am very interested in your adventures. Let me see, how does next Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday sound for you guys? Even this Saturday could work. We could go for a cup of coffee. Or how about right now? You guys stay here and chat, and I'll go about my work duties. That won't do. I've already reserved today's entire review schedule for you. Sorry, Miss Traveler, Paimon. We'll have to chat another time. That's okay. We got work to do anyway. We need to escort Mr. Knacker first. I must stress again that I am just an ordinary researcher now, and I have no further information to give you. Plus, we've got tedious and meaningless work ahead of us. Even if you go ahead and interview me, it won't be getting anything useful out of it. That won't be a problem, Mr. Nick here. All work has its own unique value, and it's our job to uncover it. Don't worry about me. Suit yourself, then. Well, let's get going, Traveler. According to this schedule, there's a document we need to get at the Institute's executive office. Hopefully, Kanjat wasn't called up for some other work. This is here. Hang on just a second while I go find Miss Kanjat. Whoa, what a place. Is that a building floating in the air? Paimon gets it. Must be one of those magical, I only want a second floor, just cut the first floor out buildings that you hear about in stories. Fontaine Research Institute science is the finest in the world. Is it caused by the accident? Indeed it was. What you're seeing now is the central laboratory of the Fontaine Research Institute, or should I say, it was once the central laboratory. Mr. Edwin Eastinghouse was once within, trying to develop a field generator using archaeum. Initial estimates indicated that the device could lift an entire block of buildings. Of course, had Mr. Edwin not left 2/3 of the Fontaine Research Institute in ashes, he would have been a shoo-in for the post of the next director. And today, the heavy responsibility that belongs to the post of director, including lifelong stipend and private dwelling, must be borne by the likelies of Choslu and Romando. Paimon wonders what kind of people Romando and Choslu are. Turn up this music. Turn down this music. According to the evaluations of my peers, they were the types who can speak for an entire day without saying anything. Oh, I'd like to put that to test. That's the right balance of audios. It's so exceeding accurate to say that Mr. Klustao's talents are irreplaceable. Look, Traveler, the location of your next review is the former location of the Alain Goltini Research Institute, and now the current residence of the Institute. Before the instant, weekly lectures were held there regarding critical projects. Of course, the old administrative functions are still in effect and can handle the final review. What's that plaza for? Are there even seats in it? Is it an amphitheater of some kind? I've heard colleagues stationed at the Institute speak of this place. It's the sacred ground for Fontanians, the place where Fonta was born. Refreshing Fonta, font of refreshment. That is the Fontaine Research Institute's academic assembly hall. It is dedicated to the purpose of displaying the fruits of our research, such as combat-capable artificial dancers, the gramophone, turbine-powered glider, among other things. Previous analyses of the Institute assets show that the items I mentioned previously, Fonta may be the only scientific achievement that remains legally profitable. I couldn't help noticing the wording contained in a few baseless accusations. I am glad you noticed. In that case, I would mind giving me your opinion on the outgoing criminal activity of selling off research materials from within the research institute. It's absolutely vile, and those involved in the matter ought to be arrested in accordance to the law. Well, then out of those with access to the Institute's technical assets and the capacity to commit such crime, who do you believe was exactly? Could it be possible that it was a criminal? Traveler, let's keep moving. I need to go file a storage room first and retrieve a survey anchor, which can be used to monitor the strength of the energy flows. It's not far. Let's go. Conjut. This document needs to be filed and when we're written. There's so much to do. Finance office in notice to thoroughly investigate the instance loss of assets. Effective today, funding approvals for the auxiliary robo-arm, hollow propulsion wind glider, autonomous circuit aquabus projects is suspended, pending further review of finances and assets. Do we need to bring some purple to that, I think? Announcement concerning personnel changes. The announcement regarding the memorial service for Monsieur Boutour Institute will hold a memorial service in Monsieur Boutour's tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. in the Academic Assembly Hall to honor his research contributions to the Institute and the people of the Court of Fontaine. May he rest in peace. I did get some good sleep, actually. I got some decent sleep for sure. I streamed until about 1 my time and then slept solid till about 10 o'clock. So it was good. It was a good sleep. I feel like I might 11:30 or 11:30. Well, yeah, 11:30. My kid corrected me. So I got like 10 hours, 12 hours. What? You woke up at 10 a mummy. Yes, that's true. I was not really functional at 10 o'clock. And then I went back to sleep. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm catching up. What? You didn't even say, hey, you were and then went back to bed. Not even that. It was and then went back to sleep. Yeah. Okay. But anyhow, all right, I'm good back to this silly reading. Memorial service at 9:30 at the Academic Hall to honor his research contribution and the Court of Fontaine. May he rest in peace. Anyone not associated with the Institute who wishes to attend the service should be first register with the funerary office. Notice regarding the sanctions for personnel conducting unapproved research. In summary, Patras traveled to Liyue without permission and conducted experiments without the Institute's approval. He's also suspected of tampering with and falsifying experimental results. He retains his position on probation pending investigation. All experimental data papers from the project will be temporarily archived in the care of Monsieur Anatole, pending subsequent review and empirical verification. Notice of Edwin Eddingshouse's dismissal. In accordance with the Fontaine Research Institute personnel regulations, Edwin Eastonhouse has been absent for work without permission for a long period without having submitted any application and is hereby dismissed from his post as senior technician effective today, with further investigation pending. Notice of Courtreau's dismissal. In accordance with the laws of the Court of Fontaine and the Fontaine Research Institute's personnel regulations, Courtreau has been dismissed from his position as a researcher at the Institute effectively immediately. The Institute retains the right to pursue further legal action in accordance to the relevant laws. Wow, you got some folks that are doing their job. All right, so this is locked, and we need to figure out a way to unlock it. There's also that. I think we have to activate that with a purple. So we got to find a purple. Should be a purple around here somewhere. There's a scenic overlook there. So now we just got to find a purple. It's usually not too far. Yeah, so you can just, oh, well, there's the thing I'm looking for. So first we need to take this to where it belongs. This should power it. Okay, so now that's charged up. So now we have to go back up there. Hop up here. And then we can activate this little thingy. All right, we can read this. Cipher letter 5. All that once stood fast has been destroyed. The stone walls are as weak as flesh and blood. At the time has come for me to leave, and I shall not return. But I will not give up. I see the path leading towards my future. I will endeavor toward it, even if it is a path of solitude. And then we steal energy. And then we switch over to here. And then we give the energy to this block. And then we leave. And that should unlock the treasure chest that we're looking at. So detection unit. Alright, now we go to this little thingy. The song video clip is worth watching in general. I was about to put it in yourself. Alright, I'm not going to put on clips, but we will listen for sure. Alright, this is a test for cipher letters. It's not a test for cipher letters. Looks like I can add and remove test. Butcher's inventions are interesting indeed, and not a useless one. Unfortunately, there are too many blockheads in the Institute now. Apart from a few interrogating individuals, the rest of them only know how to follow what's tried and tested. These few exceptions are buried in their own fascinating experiments, but care little for others' projects. I believe that one day the cipher letters will be applicable in our lives, just like a system-wide prototype, which has tons of development potential. Book of Donation Statistics to the Department of Statistics and Mathematics. Recently, our institute announced an initiative and implored our fellow citizens to donate books in order to rebuild the Bosai Library, formerly known as the Alan Guttini Memorial Library, which was unfortunately destroyed during the accident. Since the initial announcement, the response and generous donations we received from this entire community has far surpassed our expectations, providing us large numbers of precious books, and the reconstruction plan is progressing smoothly. As expected, after conducting a careful study, we have decided to entrust your department, the Department of Statistics and Mathematics, with organizing the book donation formation, using this forum to facilitate contracting and expressing our gratitude to all donors in the future. Refer to the format below. Donated book, category, donor, donor's message. Senior Research Joseph Diogenes. To Mr. Diogenes. Is your head royally screwed up or something? Why would you send this to us? The Department of Statistics and Mathematics isn't the department responsible for this kind of parquet work. Department Director, Marius Gilar. The forms have been returned untouched in their original packaging in order to avoid administrative issues until we hear from Mr. Diogenes. The research assessments in our department required to fill in the form according to the following format. Donation book, category, donor, donor's message. Department of Supervisor, Maurice Jugglar. Donated book, Legend of Swords, 6-volume, hardcover set. Yay, Public House. The Legend of Sword is literally a book written by the blue-haired kid that's in my party right now. Category, literature, fiction. Donor, Renan Manotaban. Donations message. I didn't realize it was such a suspense thriller. Mistakenly purchased. Please give me his address. I would like to personally correct his misunderstanding concerning literary aesthetics. Research assistant, Dupere. Oh my god. He's like, I didn't want to buy this. I'm donating it. It's like every single freaking library donation. Criticisms on pseudo-Remura history, starting from the non-existence of Remus. Literature, satire, and humor. Areta Capato? Whatever. Thank you gift from a patient who called it a must-read and whispered something about exposing true history. I flipped through it a few pages and found myself completely lost. Might be a relatively valuable history book or something? Archived according to the standard classification scheme. Research associate. Donated book. The Steambird Annual Collection hardcover set with free cute Blubber Beast poster. Category: periodicals, news publication. Hermoso de Belnat. Free copy from the publisher. It should be helpful, right? According to the standard classification beat research. Wait, where's the poster? Let's stole the poster. Donated book. The Art of Negotiation. Social Science. Factors affecting social behavior. Donor Jean Fastier. Donor's message. I bought it back from the Fortress of Marpatine. You really must take this. It's a rather useful book. Oh, you got all sorts of good music requests. Archived according to the standard classification scheme. Flip through it a bit because the covers seem interesting. It doesn't seem to hold any actual value. All right, I agree with your views, but yeah. Donated book. A new way to search the dictionary. An analysis and reflections based on natural philosophy and the historical evolution. Category: language, dialectical, and historical linguistics. Elite Bilger. The paper has been reviewed. Please archive it according to standard procedure. The language, dialectology, and historical linguistics assessment. By Nouvelette's handkerchief. Cosol funds research like this. Research assistant. Above remark is only a personal opinion and does not represent the views or position of this department. Donated book. Novel. Artifice Core. Spin Theory and Engineering. Interpretation of Reversed Gear Derives. All 10 volumes. Category: Kinetic Science. Vibration Theory. Donor. Villard. Consider this as a token for gratitude to the Valentine Research Institute for Kinetic Energy and Engineering's continuous help and contributions. Please accept these books for your collection. Archived according to the standard classification scheme. Huh? Wait, someone actually donated normal books? What, actually something useful? Okay, looks like we need to start repairing these internal structures. What are you repairing? This guard mech. Aneri says that the motorized autonomous Fontana vending machine's bodyguard. He even tried to install a recording device in it. But he should stick to making Fonta. He's all good at it. I'm the only one who knows how to fix things. Do you know how to repair mecha? I used to work in a project team that built mecha. The project leads kept changing. And all the new lead would redo all the rework from the beginning. I just couldn't stand it. So I spoke to Henry and eventually transferred to this Fonta project team. And though I never thought I'd have to fix them again after all this time. Oh, I brought some extra parts if I'm not going to use. Take them. Maybe they'll come in handy. And just what flavor should the next Fanta product be? I'm thirsty. If you're thirsty, drink Fanta. Take this bottle, please. Enjoy its refreshing taste. Remember, refreshing Fanta. Font of refreshment. Got a bottle of Fanta. Okay. All right. Story. Mr. Knacker, you have finally come. We came across a little hiccup on the way. Never mind that. Have you retrieved the survey anchor yet? I was just about to bring that up with you. I don't know if it was due to the explosion, but the supporting tools that were kept here are all damaged. You should know, if you don't use the proper tools to retrieve the anchors, you'll be subject to being struck by a high-intensity Archaeum energy flows. Oh, intense energy flow from the Archaeum. Got it. Huh? What I just said, I didn't. Relax, sweetie. You are merely speaking the truth. It's not like you offended anyone. What has Mr. Chalmette said was indeed the truth. I hope that I can say the same for what you shall write. Whenever the truth is placed right before me, I never pretend it's not there. That would be a mistake. Is that so? Well, it only takes the slightest bit of effort to fixate on something, but always takes more brain power to avert your gaze from it. It's clear they're not having an argument with each other, but why does Paimon still feel like the vibes are even scarier than they were? Let's deal with the survey anchor first, shall we? You're right, Miss Chalmette. Let's examine the anchor. Okay then. That said, the area where it's located is still blocked. I'll go ahead and open those ports to unblock it. All right, I'm going to turn down requests for a little bit. Turn on the song music in the game. We're in plot again. As I recall, Traveler, you were an adventurer, came from recruitment, yes? Well, then, assisting our institute with its work, you'll sometimes be required to carry out certain precise operations. I'd like to see if your practical capabilities first. Could you, with Echo's help, Miss Clement, operate the energy transfer terminator, clear the area, while the survey anchors obstructions? Okay, sure, I guess I could. Paimon thinks she's heard of this story somewhere before. It's something like, your test began the moment you set foot in this area. You could say that. If you pass the final review, then we'll do a detailed competency assessment for you. After all, everyone excels at different things, and the work they can take on is also different. And your compensation will differ as well? Very blunt of you, but you're not wrong. Ooh, then we've got to show off our worth, Traveler. Just treat this as an early assessment. Miss Chamlet is over there. She'll explain to you how to operate the terminal. Please follow her instructions and unblock the areas as soon as you can. I'll be watching you from the side. Puzzle time. All right. No books. Just get all the money. I know how to operate the terminals. You don't need to tell me how. Ooh. What are these? All right, I guess we'll turn the music back up because the music in the audio in the game is back to being null. Letter 1. This is a test for cyber letters. I haven't thought of any suitable scenarios where this tech can be applied. Considering that the energy transfer terminals and their receiving terminals were widespread in Fontaine, the use of encrypted messages will be limited within the Fontaine Research Institute. Teelyard just loves coming up with such useless inventions. I've already warned him not to vandalize the place. The encrypted images will use a special paint that requires an equally special solvent to remove. The formula for the solvent needed to remove the encrypted messages is recorded below. The text below has been removed. Excellent work! The lock has been opened. Your abilities quickly grasp mechanics and execute are both outstanding, and your value far exceeds the majority of those who participate in the experiments. I will truthfully report your performance as such. So what's next? Whoa, Miss Clarine, what's gotten into you? I suddenly feel like I'm gonna throw up. Miss Clorinda, please drink this medicine. Exposed to survey anchors radiate with the Archaeum energy traces, and the place we're in now has also been affected somewhat. However, this energy level won't leave the permanent adverse effects on the body. Just take this medicine, and you'll be fine. Ugh, tastes terrible. Forget it. I guess this is a sort of what kind of first-hand experience? Traveler, those 2 bottles are for the 2 of you. Please drink them quickly. I'm feeling fine. Paimon can have it, though. But Paimon isn't feeling any discomfort either. Plus, the medicine doesn't taste so good, right? Paimon would rather not take it. Really? That's quite interesting. And it's completely at odds with the results of the Applications of Archaeum Risks Report, 3rd edition. We should have been affected by the same amount of Archaeum energy. Humph! We're constantly journeying over mountains and seas. We're way stronger than the people you've got working here. Correction. You can now assume that all the Fontaine's Research Institute staff are now working out in the open, beneath the sun and stars. Your report might consider mentioning how difficult work and conditions we're enduring, Miss Clarine. You've been wronged without having been notified in advance. The Steambird won't let this go. Putting this aside, you clearly have an extremely strong innate tolerance for the energy flow, Traveler. If so, you are certainly the best candidate to assist the Institute without question. Please approach the storage room and report any dizziness, nausea, itchiness, or other discomfort you feel during the process. Hold on there. Are you using the Traveler as a guinea pig without fulfilling your obligation to inform her of the risks first? It is clearly stated in the abbreviated externally contracted employee agreement, Appendix C51, which she signed. Prior to being officially employed, the applicant shall be subject to a harmless arcane energy follow tolerance test, and the Institute has the right to terminate the contract based on the results of said test. Yeah, who the heck reads all that? You chose not to exercise your right to read the text, but each document was clearly marked. Please sign your name after clearly reading the document and making sure there are no mistakes. However, seeing as you're completely unaffected by the energy flow, I believe you may be the person we're looking for. In any case, let's get down to business. Take 3 steps forward to the storage room and hold still for 30 seconds. Follow Necker's series of complicated instructions and go to the storage room. He's NPC. We've gone this far, but Paimon doesn't feel anything. Do you feel any discomfort? Oh, my head. It feels like it's going to explode. Yeah, I'm lying. I'm feeling the same as always. That's relief then. Paimon was worried about how she'd carry you out of here if you were to suddenly pass out. Although we've come this way and we can't see Nakara or the others anymore, and it doesn't look like we can hear them either. What do we do next? Paimon knows. Maybe they'll chuck some sort of box in here and communicate with us through that. Oh, that would be quite handy. If we find out soon enough, Paimon can't wait to see what kind of cool gadgets they might have to communicate with us. Traveler, can you hear me? Oh, so they really are on the technology of shouting really loud. I can hear you. Do you guys feel any discomfort? Everything's good. That's great. Please continue on the survey anchor. You should be able to see it now. Man, why does with the game audio just keep on going down in this area? Once you retrieve it, it will temporarily fall into a dormant state and stop radiating energy, and then we'll be able to come in. Be careful. If you feel uncomfortable, then we'll get you out of here. First, we plunder. Plunder before anything else. Plunder, 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 plunder. What if we do it this way? This seems to be a reference book intended to impart practical techniques. The book lists a great number of issues that Fontanians are quite likely to encounter in their daily lives and provides rigorously logical solutions to said problems. However, both the title page and the ending contain requests from the authors for readers not to do such things in practice. That thing should be emanating elemental energy. Oh well. What should I do? This appears to be a reference book to teach common knowledge to people who are yet to come of age. But why it's placed inside the Institute Materials office? Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Engineering. Ooh, it's a map. Executive Office. Located at the intersection between the Life-y and the Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering regions, primarily responsible for the Institute of Administrative Tasks. Academic Assembly Hall, a venue for showcasing the projects of the Institute's research to the public. The circular design of the exposition hall allows it to accommodate a larger audience while providing a better view. Central Laboratory, located at the heart of the Fontaine Research Institute, Kinetic Energy Engineering. It is the most advanced instruments in Fontaine. Currently, the primary research undertaken there is related to experimental field generator. The text that follows is too large to be discernible. Perfect yesterday. What is that? The day that passed. The day that has passed cannot stay. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know what I just did there. Oh, there's something up there. Fantasy Institute. This seems to be a literary book of fiction. In this book, the entire Fontaine Research Institute was transported to a fantasy world, and many researchers go on adventures together in this other world. There is a note stuck to the end of the text with the following comments written on it. Why do I still have to carry the mechanisms and fight monsters even in another world? How is it any different from real life? Is this what counts as a popular novels within the Institute's circles? Might as well write one in which Mr. Edwin travels to another world with his arcanum. Please refrain from placing novels inside the materials office. Also, Mr. Edwin has stated that he has no interest in traveling to other worlds. You actually managed to retrieve the survey anchor without any instruments? It was like nothing. It's amazing. The last time we needed at least 3 of us acting together to retrieve an anchor. Ha ha! And most certainly that you're exactly the talent we've been looking for. With your help, all our work is going to go much smoother. All right, I'll keep it for now. Let's leave this place and have a report back to the Institute post haste. Hang on, where's Miss Crony? Paimon doesn't hear her anywhere. She was feeling nauseous, so she stayed up there to rest. Another Pokemon I don't have. Pinchurin. Little Pokey Pokemon. Don't worry, she's already taken her medicine. She just needs a little more time. Oh, she rushed down. Huh? Miss Crony, what are you doing here? A bunch of mecha monsters suddenly showed up outside. They're on my heels, about to storm in. Oh, leave it to me. Look out, traveler, over there. Whew. Luckily, the traveler was here. These are probably the clockwork mecha that the Institute used before to monitor energy flow. It's equipped with arcane energy flow monitoring devices. Although they're now out of control, they still automatically converged here upon detecting the energy flow from Arceum. Miss Knacker, should the Fontaine Research Institute be held accountable for these out-of-controlled mechas in the wild? I don't object to that at all. They should be held accountable. Oh? If you truly have a way to have those buried in the ground, rise up and speak again. Also, I sincerely suggest that you stay out here and rest. Miss Clorne, Miss Consu, and Ramondo are at the Institute's new site, and they aren't going anywhere. Once you're feeling better, then you can go and interview them. Yeah, if you feel sick, you should probably barely even stand. Don't put yourself so hard. Yes, your health is essential. No, I can't. Interviewing Closette is the final step, not the beginning. That's why I'm following Mr. Knacker around. I want to experience everything firsthand and get tangible evidence. I have to question Crystal with evidence in hand. That way he won't be able to beat around the bush like last time. And lo and behold, you now personally experience this old-colored, harmless Arceum energy flow, no? Once I get to the Fontaine's Institute, I'm definitely going to uncover all the truths. I truly admire your professionalism, Miss Calendra, but are you sure you'll be able to make it the rest of the way there? Don't worry. I'll be right behind you guys. I'm a reporter after all. The backup medicine was nearly finished. I'll go back and get more for the Institute later. Wait, do we even have any medicine left? Uh-oh. Chessery. Okay. Hello. About Miss Sanguine. Describe what happened to Chessery and gave her the 3 punched tapes. I was just mulling over whether to check on her. So that's what happened. Thank you for the update, and for the punched tapes as well. It's surprising that the Meldred's prototypes can still move, and that the Sanguine is still working in such a dangerous environment. I'll talk to the administrative staff about arranging their recovery. Oh, and about the possibility of expensing it while I'm there. That was quite clever of her. It's up to the administrative staff whether or not to reimburse them in the end, but I'll pay it for the time being. Anyways, thank you for your help. Here's your pay for a job well done. We're here. Is this the Marianne Memorial Park? Let's see if there's any assets. not a park, but it doesn't look like a park at all. When the explosions happened, the sure shockwaves blew the buildings here. There might have been some paper assets that survived the fire. Charbug in here. Marianne, the one we've learned about in the previous quest. Retrieve financial reports, but a year out of date. Let's take them with us. They might be useful. It's like old copies of Steenberg. Okay. There's a little challenge over here. Looks like we'll get these first. Miniaturized personal recording device, experimental resorts. Miniatured gramophones. Okay, these Ramones are all basically garbage at this point. Okay. Yep, I figured. It's one of these. There we go. I love their balance beam challenges. Anything else here? Something going on over here. Oh, there might be something under the storage drums over there. Is there a pile of storage drums? Is that Institute property? All right, let's figure out if there's anything in here. What did we find? Ooh. All right, there seems to be nothing of interesting value here. It's time to move on. A researcher who once worked with the Edwin and Veer Instinct House is now kicking storage drums around in a junk heap. Meanwhile, the Fontaine Research Institute still complains about being short-handed, huh? The way these researchers go about things is truly unfathomable. Ugh. Everybody's worth is reflected in different ways. Kicking storage drums is my way of doing so these days. But I've heard that prior to Edwin's big screw-up, you had quite some sway with the Institute. Some might even say that you were second only to Edwin himself. Eh? You were that powerful? That no longer means anything. Now I'm merely someone who is fortunate to survive this project, and one of the culprits who turned the central laboratory into what it is today. This is the only information I can offer you, Mr. Clorinda. Well, I believe that was plenty. Let me write that down, huh? Where's my pen and notebook? My whole bag disappeared. I put it right next to the strange-looking mecha right now. Where did they go? Oh, you mean the NECA behind you? Huh? Oh, boy. Help! Okay. Let's hurry over to the Institute and participate in the final qualification review, after all. All right. Enough of that. Plot. Ramondo, nothing could go wrong here, right? Everything is running according to the steady set orbit, Chuslo. Round and round it goes without any errors. Error-free, everything might be, but I'm just worried about getting dizzy. Mr. Clouseau, Mr. Ramondo. Ah, Knacker, it's good to see you. Have you taken care of those survey anchors? I trust that you've done as well as always I have. Complete your tasks to perfection. I have. Allow me to give you a brief report. With the Traveler's assistance, the anchor was successfully retrieved without any equipment. That's unbelievable. You able to retrieve one without the use of any instruments? Goodness. Thank heavens. An entire institute right now only has 3 complete sets of such equipment, and I was honestly worried how we might retrieve the anchors as soon as possible. It's nothing compared to the other things I've been through. Is there any critical data that the anchor, Mr. Clouseau? Haha, of course not. Something insignificant data, Miss Chlorine. I agree with you. After all, there's no way for an insignificant data to radiate a harmful arc of energy flows, is there? Energy flow? I mean, of course it's necessary and must exist as a technological means of preserving the... What I'd really like to know is why the Fontaine Research Institute would place these survey anchors to monitor the Archem energy flow after the explosions. Well, certainly, obviously, these survey anchors are used for monitoring. Miss Clorin, they talk so fast, like a whopper flyer sitting fireballs. Allow me to be more specific. How exactly is the Fontaine Research Institute planning to deal with the explosion? Yes, I was about to answer that question. This was an excellent question to ask, as many people are concerned about it. Miss Glinda, I am delighted that you've come to visit again. I must stress on behalf of Mr. Slow that the Institute has never changed its solution to this explosion. Once we have recovered all the retrievable research assets at the old site, we will demolish the old central laboratory and do our best to restore the area's natural environment to its original state. By the central library, you mean the building floating in the air? How are you going to demolish a building like that? You're going to shoot it down with a cannon? I know how to use cannons. We like cannons. Of course, we shan't be using such crude and simple solutions. This demolition will utilize our newly researched experimental field generator. Oh, great. They're going to take one failed experiment and we're going to have another failed experiment on top of it. Sorry, I'm a little tangled in cords. Oh, Jesus. Just a second. I'm a little tangled. All right, all better. I don't even know if there's anyone watching right now, but I'm a little tangled. Excuse me. This device can deactivate the gravity-altering field that surrounds the Institute's ruins and land them on the ground safely. But wasn't it this device that also with sad ruins? Was it also within sad ruins? And said ruins. Wasn't the device already within said ruins? And wasn't it also a work of Edwin Eastonhouse that used Archaeum energy as its energy source? So based on what you're saying, the Fontaine Research Institute is still unwilling to give up this harmless Archaeum project, yes? I think they're just not willing to give it up so easily. You've been keeping up with what she's saying? Nope. I just repeated her last sentence. Hey, have you been doing this to pretend that you understand what's going on? Anyways, Fontaine Research Institute is still trying to do dangerous stuff in dangerous ways, right? Great summoning, Mr. Paimon. If we're discussing controlled risks, then uncontrolled risks, well, even walking on a road may be dangerous. Also, you should note that the energy source we're using is the completely new and stable tri-state Archaeum. How's that differ from normal Archaeum? Does the new word in front of it mean anything? This to me seems like a pretty rhetorical maneuver. I'm sure Mr. Clouslow would be happy to give you an in-depth conversation with you about its grammar, but I've left Miss Nicter hanging too long. It really isn't just impolite. Miss Nicter, I trust that you've done everything that we've asked. With the Traveler's help, everything couldn't have gone any better. Is this an adventurer who came for recruitment? Nakara recounts Romando everything that has happened, emphasizing the amazing talent that she displayed in retrieving the survey anchor. He also briefly touches on Clarinda's ironclad professionalism, as well as the severe vomiting reactions she had. From the joking look on Nakara's face, it seems to be no intent in his jest about the commanded reporter, so you assume. Oh, this is rare, extremely rare. I'm delighted that you are appealing to work at the Institute, Traveler. After 100 years of bad luck, we're finally catching a break. I'm confident that you will be a great help to us. So here's all the documents I signed. Leave them over here. Don't worry about them. Huh? Aren't you going to take a look at them? We spent ages on them, and Mr. Desnos also looked at them very seriously. Documents definitely have their uses. They certainly help us weed idiots out, at least. As for you, however, I believe that your good qualities far beyond what they can summarize, so let's just leave them alone for now. So, are you saying we passed the review? Without a doubt, yes. I will personally prepare the contract and notice that you need to sign for follow-up work. Until then, Mr. Necker. Yes? While Miss Clorinda appears to be having discussions about energy safety with Miss Closleur, how about you take the Traveler to retrieve the last two survey anchors? The energy flow control operations are nearing completion, and all that's left is data compilation. Oh well, at least everything's under control. Are you guys heading somewhere else? I'm going to come too. This reporter lady sure has some good ears. These two guys. What should we do, Ramundo? You think we can convince this journalist? The Tri-State Archeum? I always felt that name would be less trouble. Yes, child? Oh, it certainly does. Let me do a BRB if you're going to do that. Thank you. Let's just do a BRB real quick. My BRB stops the recording, so just hold up. And let me do a BRB. I need to grab a snack anyways. I'm starting to get hungry. I'm seeing your message now. I stepped off to get a snack. Your phone is burning out, but I have to say, get ready for your baby brother and sister over, so get ready just in case. All right, well, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you being here and chatting, and I do appreciate all the interesting music that you shared with me today. It was fun. Beatbox off right now, though, because I'm in the middle of a quest. All right, you can continue talking about your Elden Ring thing, though.
So if I pick one mod,
Mm-hmm. Talking. I always felt that name would bring us trouble. Just so, do you really think the name is not up to the current grammatical standards and that people will criticize us for being superficial? No! Tri-State Arcanum may be different from Arcanum in name, but looks exactly the same for no matter how one looks at it. This is not a problem, as its internal structure is indeed different. The difference between it and Arcanum is like the good guys and the bad guys. They're both people. They're very different in society. Ah, Romando. People never bother to tell good guys from the bad guys, much less the nature of a piece of rock. They'll just say, hey, this rock looks like Arcanum and works like Arcanum, so why isn't it called Arcanum? Relax, Crusoe. We've already prepared the explanation script. See, the energy source that drives the experimental field generator is not Arcanum, but the new one called Tri-State Arcanum. This type of ore is an inert variant of Arcanum that was created through special transformative process, either entertaining the all-new silent excitement state. It is much more stable than the original excited state. This won't do. They'll still say that we're doing the same kind of rhetorical trick. This rhetoric is also based on strict academic classification. All in all, you will witness its excellence after this display. But it certainly won't be up to satisfy that group of reporters. They can never be satisfied, Miss Clouseau. We need only put this on display. That is all. Right. We have to retrieve some space anchors now. Right. We can go back to the normal music.
I kind of understand why it happened.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at them, but I fixed it.
Yeah. Just mind your verbiage.
Yeah,
That's all.
It,
That's cool.
and then I played with that mod for like
15 minutes.
15 minutes. I spent a day learning to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
I played it for 15 minutes and said,
Oh. All right. Plot. Yeah, that was fun, but not really fun. All right. This is where the... Oh, wait. Is this where the researchers spent their downtime? This is even humane. Has the Fontaine Research Institute ever considered making renovations to this place a priority? There should be a survey anchor here, just like in Miss Clarendale applied. This place needs a renovation, and the power supply here is very limited. Perhaps I should say there's a complete shortage. While I'm answering Miss Clarendale's questions, I'll leave the job of recovering the survey anchor to you, Traveler. Okay. Right. Ooh, Xenoblade music. Listen to these two. Compared to some other areas, the dormitories weren't impacted much by the explosions. Dormitories? But I don't even see a bed here. How are these researchers to get any rest? It's not like they can sleep in chairs, right? Miss Clarendale, your idea of resting is very different from that of the researchers. Whether a researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute says they need rest, they only want a quick break for their brain. Then they would usually come here, play piano, read, and have a drink or two if necessary. But wouldn't sleeping provide more rest for the brain? You may be correct, but to our researchers, sleeping is a waste of time in the first place. Sleeping is a waste of time? No, it's essential for rest. Sleeping completely cuts off your train of thought, and that is not acceptable for our research work. Are you being serious? If you don't sleep, the only thing you'll cut short is your life. Not necessarily. The Institute boasts an excellent healthcare system that guarantees researchers' health and well-being. But that's still no reason not to sleep. Also, if researchers are here to give their brains a break, wouldn't that break their thought process from research anyway? Not necessarily. It only seems like they'd be taking a break when actually they're still pondering different academic subjects subconsciously. It's akin to a vast ocean that, while appearing calm on the surface, has a strong undercurrent beneath. Sometimes the undercurrents below are much stronger than the towering waves above. I get it, but when you're researching the Fontaine Research Institute on a project, they must keep working and are not allowed to rest, right? It is not completely fair to say. If they truly need sleep, they're free to go back home and do just that. So it's fair to say as long as the researchers are at the Fontaine Research Institute are inside the Institute, they must keep working and they're not allowed to rest. Your rhetoric is simply astounds, Miss Clarendale. All right. Okay, they all left. What's this do? Oh, we don't need to do that yet. First, we need to read all their books. Researcher's note. I want to take a nap, but I've got a project meeting relating, so I can't sleep. No falling asleep. Now I wish our research project leader would stop barging in during our lunch to talk about work. I could cut the air with a knife. Free coffee at the Institute is getting worse. It tastes like sawdust soaked in water. Might as well drink Fanta. Alas, I do not know when I can be transferred to another group. I really don't want to continue my research on this smart lie detector Professor Amaso's anymore. Without resources inherited from him, we're like chefs working on a crafting bench. This is just not working out. I've heard that the Institute has commissioned some adventurers to search for his base. If you ask me, they couldn't restart the project then, right? It's not like the numbers are going to help us catch up with him if we've got to force the research through while we're having no materials to work with. All right, and then we activate this. Open the door, pick up the thing, set the thing down, activate the thing, steal the energy, push the energy into there, pick up the thing, place the energy block. That enables this. Ooh, there's a writing as well. Thick experimental report. Experiment day. The lab equipment that was ordered hasn't arrived yet. I have no choice. All I can do is force myself to the Hotel du Bourg with Miss Portier. Mr. Portier has recommended the season old poisson oyster with salation, caviar, and fine cardon. The poisson oysters were unquestionably the best. Full-bodied, textured, plump, soft, and juicy. Flavor lingering on the tip of the tongue like a gentle sea breeze. However, the way Mr. Politaire ate them could be said as seen of it inelegant, as the juice accidentally squirted all over the napkin. Such lack of etiquette would definitely be laughed at by others. Anyways, I lectured him about it. Now, if only we'd take it to his heart. After all, etiquette is like food. Inferior ingredients can certainly be compensated through superior culinary techniques, so there shouldn't be any need to discriminate in terms of the quality of ingredients. But even so, people always prefer premium food with premium ingredients. Experiment day. The lab equipment ordered before Selvin arrived. No choice. All I can do is force myself to watch the opera with Mr. Portier. The refreshments were all as tasty as ever, but the play was only passable at best. As far as tragedies goes, the farewell scene between the Ernest and Aguirre at least succeeded in squeezing a few tears out of some members of the audience, such as Miss Potier, although he was expected to give in his tastes, not laughter. There's nothing innately wrong with the attempt to show the plot unfolding from the perspective of multiple characters, but if it cannot be tied back together, the theme properly expressed, and then instead completely relies on sensationalizing the climax to cover up for all the flaws, there's absolutely a misguided approach. Take, for example, the adaptation of the famous Loch Night tale titled Mounted Python and the Pure Grail. Monty Python, the Holy Grail. Oh my god. The comedy had previously attended with Mr. Potier, see lab report, page 17, with superior production in every way. As the great master Acrophus says, it is better to pen laughter than tragedy, for laughter gives strength and fortifies the will, not to mention how mortifying Miss Portier's bawling was. Experiment day. Lab equipment previously ordered has still not arrived. Appears that it may have gotten lost in transit. I can't do anything but force myself to reorder the equipment and then go to the Café Lucerne with Miss Portier once again. It's cute.
What does chocolate taste like?
Not right now.
Melted and reformed improperly chocolate.
Okay, I don't want it.
You can let it melt in your mouth slowly.
Why can't I reach that?
Good.
Okay.
But you're doing good stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to eat chocolate right now. No.
Chocolate's not very good for your food.
All right. Looks like our collector's working precinct space. There's no time to lose. Let's move to the next location. We use this one? No? Yes, we use this one. Cipher letter 4. Teilhard scribbled cipher letters all over the place. Well, I'm not surprised. He even erased the formula for the purifying solvent Buterlitz behind. Thanks to him, all our project funding requests have been rejected. Guessing it's time to kiss my bright future goodbye. Not only is there no place for traditional clockwork mecha research in the Fontaine Research Institute, there's no place for me as well. I should probably try to secure a job at the Fortress of Meppertide. I'm sure they'll need engineers there. I'm just kidding. There's no way I'm going there. I've heard there aren't even windows there. Uh-huh.
It tastes really good.
Okay.
But I had a couple talkies after eating this chocolate.
Uh-huh. What?
Definitely.
Uh-huh. Okay.
When I'm eating this, I gotta keep water on.
Yeah, that's right. I decided to do something out of the goodness of my heart, though. Boucher's no longer here. I've recreated the formula for the purifying solvent based on the information left behind. I'll record the formula here so anyone who sees this will be able to use it to create the solvent and erase the nonsense that Teilhard wrote. The formula is as following. The text has been removed. Well, that's the thing we need to charge up. There should be a survey anchor here too. Open the door and you take the recovery to you. Duskox in plot chat. Couple of Pokemon today that I haven't got. I'm going to start ultra balling basically all the ones that I don't have, which I wasn't doing before, but I am doing now. Okay. Let's see here. What's this one do? No. Need to find a blue thing to power that up. There it is. Now we can do the thing. Is this thing movable? No, it's not. Yeah, I still can't forget how Too Slow kept evocating. And that Ramondo, so haughty and arrogant. To see how he was looking at me? I think you're much better than either of those two. Things would never turned out like that if you were in their position. Last survey, let's return to the Institute. Why did the adventurers respond to the recruitment and get this survey area there? Of course, there are quite a few. The survey area retrieval test part was part of the qualifying exam. Initial phase of the qualification review, they were to make contact with the survey anchors, and they consumed a lot of antiemetics. They all got sick and got tired, and yeah, it was bad for them all. Game audio back on for a bit. Not that there's anyone here that is listening to the music. Mr. Ramondo, the survey anchors have all been retrieved. Looks like we've got the right person for the job this time. Put them over there. Someone will come handle them. Now, let us get to business. Come over here, Miss Traveler. There are some documents you need to sign. They're so thick. Why are there so many documents? Because no matter how one looks at it, escorting the researcher into the ruins of the Fontaine Research Institute and then landing said ruins shall be no small matter. And since it is such an important matter, it's only natural of us to explain every detail to one carrying out the work. Who am I escorting? Why, that'd be Mr. Knacker, of course. Across the entire Institute, there's no one better suited than him to deal with the central laboratory ruins. I request that I accompany Mr. Knacker. What? I think... this is a terrific proposal. Clouseau, did you forget what we mentioned when we came up with the plan? We must keep the public informed about the rebuilding of the Institute with the utmost transparency. Ah, that's right. The new Fontaine Research Institute, nothing has to hide. Edwin made some mistakes, but we are past that now. Please, write a report on it. Go to the ruins of the Institute and see the mistakes Edwin Lightinghouse made. Looking back again, the Institute is now just what we've been working toward. The cause we stand for. But allow me to emphasize once again that... And here we go again. Paimon's about to fall asleep. I truly admire how much you guys have to say. Players to Genshin developers. We truly admire how much you have to say. Not to mention how every sentence seems to magically make people fall asleep. Paimon's already feeling sleepy from half a sentence. No, it's important business, so please, come this way. Under Armando's guidance, you signed many complicated documents. Thanks to your prior experience, you finished signing them before you know what this time. All right, that should be all of them. Thank you, Miss Traveler. You are now externally contracted assistant researcher for the Fontaine Research Institute. What about Paimon? Does Paimon get a title? You're my important assistant, Paimon. Assistant? Oh, it just doesn't sound cool. Oh, welcome back. Don't worry. Assistants play an absolutely critical role within the Institute. But let us get back to business, shall we? Things right now in the Institute are rather complicated. The matters you'll be dealing with are so urgent that I won't keep you for much longer. Oh, stretching time. Okay. While you're on the way, Miss Knacker, I will inform you of some things of note, as well as what you will actually need to do. The rest is up to you now. A lot of rest on your shoulder, Mr. Knacker. Well then, please follow me, Traveler. We must get to the ruins. Sure thing. Ooh, 20 squats. Okay. Don't forget me. Yeah, keep them knees in shapes, exactly. Yes, how could I possibly forget you? All right, we'll do that. Take a break. So yeah, I think we just, we passed to the next stage of the quest as well. To the Research Institute. Hopefully do, there we go. Central Laboratory Learns. Come on, Miss Traveler. Miss Clarine. This way. You mean we're gonna delve into this patch of water? That's right. With the help of this alleogravity condensed water, we can ascend to the ruins in the Institute safely and efficiently. If you don't wish to do that way, you may also go up the opposite bank and glide from the highest mountain using a wind glider. Forget it. I'm not good at using a wind glider, and I'm not really used to heights either. Very well. Now we'll go over a few things to keep in mind when it comes to the allogravity condensed water. Knacker details considerations when making use of said allogravity condensed water. So in a nutshell, it's the same as when swimming or diving. I feel this is more like flying or diving. Suppose you could call it anti-gravity diving, if you had to. Is everybody ready? Miss Clorinda, you can sit back now. You can still back now if you'd like. Simply wait for your son to return. Reporters never back down. I'll be right behind you guys. Well, I'll try to, anyways. All right then, if you insist. Let's get going now. Oh. Don't touch the edges. It is a swimming challenge, all right. Don't touch the edges. And that's how we get to the top. Oh, and there's more. Did we miss one? Time's up, I think. Yep, time's up. Must have missed one. We'll go back to it. Hey, freaking bully. Okay, so we missed one. Let's try this again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay. Anything else in there to talk to check it out? That's a little challenge. Nope, just a little challenge, I think. Okay, now we'll try this one. Oop. I'm gonna deal with this hydro slime, but that's okay. Looks like there's a target practice first. Not quite sure how to do target practice from inside the water, but assume this is the way one wants to go. Not sure. Oh, it's the bubble. I have to destroy the bubble. No, not the bubble. There's another bubble. Last bubble, hopefully. There we go. It's a little bubble. Okay. The next one. There it is. Oh shoot. I'm falling. Oh goodness, we're in trouble now. Yeah, we're in trouble now. Okay, well, we'll have to figure out a way back in there. I don't think we can get it back in. Not easily, at least. Alright, let's try this again. Start from here, I guess. Up we go. Go.
急がなくてもいいのよ。
Try this again. Oh, what's this do? Is this going to take us to where we left off? Oh, how nice. Yep, this is where we left off. Okay, where do we go next? I guess we could jump across to that one. Yeah, I guess we're jumping across. Okay. Bomb jellyfish, okay. How it got up here, we're not going to try to explain. Treasure chest. Guess we just want to keep going up. Yeah, we just want to keep going up. And another pyro slime.
この件はわかるかい？ほはよおい。ほはよよし。
や。
Okay, follow the bubbles. To the next one. Another Oculus. I've got to do some platforming for that one though. Just head on back. No harm done as long as I've got the stamina. Oh boy. I don't run out of flying stamina. Off we go. And down we go.
Ta. Se. Ha. Yeah.
I'm curious about that other shooter though. Where does this take us? Oh, it just takes us back over here. Okay. Fair enough. Up we go. Water? Oh, through the water. Okay.
Tendo Bansho. Get
that stuff. Anything else interesting up here? Looks like our little next journey to the next one here.
Yeah.
Here we go. Getting kind of close to the ruins, I think. Looks like it. Oh my goodness. That looks like a boss. Yeah, that's a boss. Paimon, assistant to the externally contracted assistant researcher. What is this large plate? That's the experimental field generator that Mr. Edwin deployed. Huh? Didn't it already blow up? It looks perfectly fine now. The thing that exploded isn't the machine, but the Arcanum ore that powers its core driver, the Arcanum kinetic core. This thing, will it suddenly start moving by itself? Relax, this big guy can't move now that it's lost its power supply. Exactly. But didn't the Ramondo say we needed to use it to make the ruins descend? If it can't move, only part of it will be activated. The Tri-State Arcanum can only support its operation at half speed, but it should be enough to relieve the abnormal gravity state of the central laboratory ruins are in. Paimon doesn't understand that at all. So what do you need us to do? Please follow me. This is the place we'll need to work, is at the back. Miss Clarinda, please stay here. Some areas in the back contain Institute secrets, and you're not allowed to have exposure to them. I can see that back of yours from here. What secrets could there be hidden inside? I have no idea either. That's why you're definitely not allowed inside. What nonsense! Anyways, please wait here. If you take photos randomly, you might capture something related to Institute secrets. For example, the formula for the sugar-free berry-flavored Fanta. This new Fanta product is quite important to the Institute. If you leak any information to the outside world, you'll need to undergo a 1-month confidential investigation and must report to the Mastodon Gaston at the Palace Momonia 3 times a day to be questioned. Of course, you'll need to stop your journalistic work. Don't worry, even if I get taken away by the Palace Memorial for questioning, it will only be because I've uncovered the secret that you've hiding. I won't let myself be forced to stop working for reasons as absurd as leaking some Fanta formula. I admire your work ethic. I hope everything goes well with your photo taking. Traveler, let's go. There's still work for us to do. No, she's a reporter. She's a reporter.
She's a crazy reporter.
But she's actually a reporter, and she is discovering all sorts of bad things.
Does she think she's doing the industry thing?
No, they experimented with an experimental thing that if people come contact with it, they become very sick, and it blew up half of the region. She's a reporter. She's more like doing the Silent Spring thing. That would be a better analogy. If that makes sense. She's a reporter. That's all she is. It's one of the kind of characters that are in this region, is reporters. Huh. What was Thacker doing? We were going to have to fight this, I'm certain. That definitely looks like something I'm going to fight. Like, that's a boss arena if I've ever seen one before. All right, let's go in back. Oh, there's a teleport waypoint. Oh, that's nice. Where did he go? Oh, there it is. Bloop. Oh, more mecha. Unfriendly friends here. Okay. Since I really don't get why the Institute had to design these support clockwork mecha to look like humans. Just in the perspective of supporting research, hands and feet are far worse than tracking and multifunctional clockwork mecha apertures. What is this rock? Oh, this is the Arcanum supplies that energy to the experimental field generator. What retrains it is the energy supply created by Mr. Edwin. See here? This circuit connects it to the generator. All of the inert Arcanum we found, this was the best in terms of purity and stability. And then boom, it went. That came down to Mr. Edwin. I trust this wasn't the cause, or at least it shouldn't take all the blame. Whoa, it's not going to blow up again, is it? When that happens, I'm going to need you to take us to... need you to take us to the skies, Paimon. Paimon doesn't have super strength, but if it really does blow up, then Paimon could give it a shot. Don't worry. Now that Edwin's not around, we're completely safe. All right. I'm about to use Raimondo's catalyst to transform the Arcanum into Tri-State Arcanum and activate that big fellow outside. Then these ruins should be able to safely land on the ground. Traveler, could you please help me take some photos in the area? I need to use them as evidence for my work record. Didn't you just say taking photos wasn't allowed? It's fine. This will be used for reference and the Institute won't be disturbed. Unless you secretly keep a few for yourself, which I trust you won't do. All right. When you're taking photos, please look for Mr. Klunder while doing so. I've got no idea where she's run off to or where she's hiding. I really don't want to start the generator only to suddenly find a lady tossed midair. Save. Readings are normal. Looks like everything's fine and we shouldn't come across any hiccups. Traveler, once you've done taking photos, please find Mr. Clorinda. I'll come find you guys when I'm finished making the adjustments here. Yeah, that looks really, really, really not safe. Anything interesting down there? There's a Sealy down here. There's a Sealy court. Ooh, there's multiple Sealy courts. Oh my gosh, there's 4. All right. So we'll have to find all 4 Sealys. Don't fall in. Or fall out, I guess. Research material. Yes, I know I'm near the edge, but thank you. Ooh, there's one of those ores. It's good to have that. Mysterious ore. Ooh, there's a challenge. Don't get too close to the edge. No, oh no, oh no. Found the. So this one says it's over there somewhere. Oh, that wall looks breakable. Or no, it's I have to do the Numa thing for that one. Oh, it's trapped in there. Yeah, it's trapped in there. Can we get in through here too? No, we cannot. Do we have to leave and come back in from the outside?
Yep.
There we go. Okay, now you're thinking in portals. Okay. Now we need to find that Usa Numa block that I saw. I remember seeing one, I just don't remember where it was. Is it in one of these rooms? There's shiny things in this room. Let's see here. Got that. Shiny things. Some energy and some gold, but that's about it. But at least we got the Oculus thing. Somewhere there's a Lumar thing. Could be lower. Let's not go down in there. Don't know where it was. Let's get the eyes field for it. Pleasant ocean sounds. Unless it was on the surface. Could have been on the surface, I guess. Ooh.
いただっちゃいよ。
難攻不落天道ここにあり。
雨描きがたし。はっ、おい。行こう。た。
Something's up there. I'm not quite sure how to get up there, though. There's definitely something up there.
Yahoo!
Mecha. Let's take this mecha out too.
岩山八九。
歌よにし。終わりで。撤収。やっ。
Get up there? I think we need to try to get up there. Pretty sure we need to try to get up there. Let me get up there. No. He bounced. That's not good. Stamina recharge takes way too long. If there is collision, then there are presents. That is the rule of Genshin Impact. If you find collision, then there's a reason to go up there. Which is actually like one of the best game design decisions that they have. Alright, I see it. I see where it's at. Oh no! Now grab onto it this time, Hutao. There you go. No! Okay, got it. Alright, so the only thing left is to find that the last of the Sealies. There was a fast travel thing, which I suspect will be one of them, which might take me to another island, unfortunately. But I still need to find the new lock. Still know where it's hiding. That's the edge. We've been in there. He is not too far away. We're looking for a purple block. There's the Sela. Is it in here? No. Could also try going below. I doubt it, but maybe. Oh, no, we got in. Oh, no, we did not get in. It's all locked up. Maybe the block is here somewhere? It's continually contained. Ah, there it is. Okay. So it was down here. That should lower the barrier. Yep. And now we freed the Sela. Let's follow it to its court. And then the last one I think is the water motion thing. We'll find out. So it's this way. I'm guessing it's not here. Could be wrong, but we'll find out. Oh my, where's it taking us? Oh, it was showing us where it was. That's funny. It showed us where it was. I love that. It didn't take us to it. It just showed us where it was. Very clever. Let's see where this mysterious door takes us. Anything other than a chest? No secret lore drops or anything like that? Nope, just a treasure chest. Which is fine by me. How suspicious. What's suspicious? Show me too. Oh, traveler, you gave me quite the fright. Were you able to walk around without any making... How were you able to walk around without making noise? We were just too focused. Speaking of it, he followed us all the way here. Have you managed to find anything? Not really. Since Mr. Knacker said all that, I don't really want to get into trouble. In the end, all I could do was take pictures of the dilapidated houses, broken rocks, and a motionless... It's not motionless, it's moving. Machine. I better be able to take photos of Big Scoop if I could just fly in the air like Paimon. Why would we be a reporter if you could fly? I was born to do this. It's the reason that exists, ma raison d'être. I, too, am very sure of that, Mr. Lorinda. What? You're also able to walk without making any noise. Is this new technology the Institute's developed? Unfortunately, we do not teach walking courses. I've already completed all the preparations. In any case, traveler, please take Miss Clorinde back to the Institute. Once the experimental field generator is activated, it will rapidly change the gravity in the surrounding area. I've been through professional training, and I know what to do in this situation. For your safety, it'd be best if you stay away from here. How are you going to get down? You don't need to worry about me. Mr. Edwin taught me how to use the generator personally. No one in the Institute can control this big guy as freely as I can, not even Ramondo. I guess we'll leave it to a professional then. Be careful. Go now. We'll meet again on the surface. Don't trust him. I think he's going to get hurt. This should be fine now. Please take McClernand with you and go down quickly. I'll be activating this big guy in a minute. Then this troublesome matter will be resolved once and for all. Alright, well, we'll glide down. Into the amphitheater, I guess we go. Still need to add that feels good man long usernames to my bot list, because I don't think that's a real person. I've been in and out of this for a while and haven't spoken once. Very bot-like behavior. Alright. Traveler, you're back. How's the work coming along? Everything's going swimmingly. There's still some fishing fetches that ought to be left to the professionals, so Mr. Knacker is still up there. I feel like I haven't really contributed that much. Say that. You're our safety rope. Without you, dear traveler, how could we have dared let Mr. Knacker go up there by himself? We said the trip was a brilliant success. But there are other benefits as well. Mr. Clindis managed to photograph some of thought-provoking images that she would like to ask me about. A few of those pictures should even prove more interesting for Mr. Knacker. Let's not talk about that for now. Come, let's take a photo together. Manzur Klauser will also need to be present with you to a certificate and honorary title. Ooh, our honorary title. Ooh, what about Paimon? Will Paimon also get a promotion from assistant, maybe? Seeing as your traveler's companion, I guess you could join in the photo. As for the title, so there's no honorary title for Paimon, huh? Honorary titles must remain limited in quantity and stay relatively rare. Otherwise, How would we get sponsors to support through rewarding them? Oh, all right then. Then allow me to award Paimon the honorary title of Best Companion, the honorary title of the Best Travel Guide, the honorary title of Best Travel Guide. Hey, that's kind of nonsense titles are those. We've already best buddies. Paimon doesn't need a title after all. You better make the Traveler's title really awesome. Of course. It's an honorary title for the highest standing. Besides, haven't you also been promoted to assistant to the honorary senior researcher? Come on, let's get that photo taken. The assistant's still an assistant, no matter how many words you put after it. All right, let's take the photo. This is an occasion to remember. Monsieur Truslow, you're... Oh, looks like he's having a nice conversation with Clorinde. Hence the operation stepping to stone to rebuilding the institute. We can do it, and it's our duty to. It's always been. As for the former site of the institute, we'll keep it preserved forever and rebuild it as a Fontaine Research Institute Safety Education Center. I think I've had about enough. I'm certain that everybody's benefited from your speech, Monsieur Poussin. But it's time to take the photo together with the traveler, wouldn't you say? Yes, of course. We must take a photo to mark this occasion with our dear honorary senior researcher of the Fontaine Research Institute. Please give me a second, Miss Clorinde. This shouldn't take too long. Oh, don't worry. It's not like the things you said now weren't all cliches anyways. Weren't you guys going to take a photo together? I just happen to have a camera with me. Please go stand in position. I traveled a long way to get here, so please at least let me make it worth the trip, okay? Ooh, a cutscene. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of expected. Is that an explosion right now? We were just... What else could it have been? I don't believe that was an explosion. All things considered, it's probably a controllable... It was an explosion! Paimon nearly blown away just now. If not, what else could it have been? Mr. Clouseau, would you please explain this to us? Was that something you had anticipated? I must say, you asked a very good question, a very excellent one, as many people are wondering the same thing. The color of these bodies of water, could it be that the condenser components were already in? Wait, Nakir hasn't come down yet. You're right, he hasn't returned yet. Let's not delay, traveler, we need to go now. Wait, I want to go! The truth behind this explosion! Please do not act lesser, Miss Reporter. If you dip one of your toes into that water, you'll be saying goodbye to this world in a minute. Don't scare me. Would you please just stay here? Traveler, according to your previous experience, this energy flow that remains in these bodies of water shouldn't affect you too much. Please get to the ruins as quickly as you can and find my own way up there to help you. Your own way? I have my ways. After that explosion, I was among the first to fly up there to conduct a disaster investigation and evaluation. Things at that time much more complicated than they are now. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get moving. Hopefully Miss Nakir won't meet the same fate as Edwin did. How can I get up there? Also, will that medicine work? But he said as long as I touch it, those pictures... Oh, darn it, I need to think of a way. My goodness, was this predicted? Oh, my. We'll go there the long way for the sake of the plot. I think there was a teleporter, but I'm going to walk up there. I think that's best. What was that, kid? Oh, you're just singing to yourself. Got it. I just didn't know if you were calling to me or just singing to yourself. I didn't know if you were calling to me or just singing to yourself. Apparently you were singing to yourself. Okay. It's a catchy tune. things are in different places.
They've been at one in
Yeah.
Euro, so
Yeah, except for that. How? They just want me to teleport? They may just want me to teleport. Because all the blocks are in different positions now. Alright, fine, we'll teleport.
Actually, no,
Oh my goodness. New music too. Machine's idle. What? Yep. Okay. I'm going to enjoy this new track. I may only get to hear it once. Why are there so many mecha here? We've dismantled so many of them last time. Seems like the explosion caused it to release another wave of energy, released another batch of clockwork mecha. Please dismantle them, quickly. Don't know why I didn't do the right team. That's alright.
この件はわかるかい？さい。捕まえた。痛がっちゃ嫌よ。
Looks like the Arcanum overloaded, and the cooling mechanism's also damaged. Necker, what have you done here exactly? This was my fault. I didn't think Necker would still be unsatisfied despite all the benefits I gave him. Benefits? Wait a second. Why are you looking at me like that? He didn't say anything to you. Ooh, that's a Pokemon I don't have. Ooh, and it's a heavy Pokemon at least. Wait, catch mission. That's just what you said, not what he said. You tell Ramondo of your encounters with Necker and his attitude towards various matters. Sweet talk. Did he tell you guys then that it was the people like him, Edwin's successors, who were reaping the benefits of this mess by stealing all kinds of information and selling it for a fortune? You guys are telling completely different stories. Paimon doesn't know who to believe anymore. If only he were here, we could find out the truth. Paimon doesn't see him at all. If he's not here, where could he have gone? Maybe he successfully escaped. I don't think he was killed at the very least. I'll explain why later. For now, though, we must stabilize this Arcanum as quickly as we can. The suppression system shut down, and the ore is presently in an excited state. That is what has caused the explosion. What caused the explosion? But this big rock doesn't look blown up at all. I don't understand. All right, I agree that this is indeed quite difficult to understand. I'll explain it in simpler terms for you. I guess I have no choice now. The experimentum field generator that Edwin created is extremely powerful and can manipulate gravity. This I believe you know already. After the explosion, all the Arcanum in the Institute shattered into fragments. Among these fragments, many of them could have turned into an excited state and triggered an explosion at any time. With the use of gravity fields, they were all restrained and gathered beneath our feet. That explosion just before was a small one caused by a small part of the Arcanum in the ruins that is affected by energy flow. I guess you could call it a minor rehearsal of a third great explosion. Then this ruin is a super huge ready to explode piece of Arcanum. So you guys did all of this not because you wanted to retrieve assets, but because you were scared this place would explode again? That's just one of the objectives of this operation. But right now, our priority is to retrieve the condensing components that fell into the water and restart the suppression device. There's also Arcanum inside those components, and the intense energy flow has likely caused unpredictable changes to the water bodies. Forgive me, I'm not really capable of retrieving them and installing them back in the inhibitor. Only you are capable of doing this, Traveler. Please, for the Court of Fontaine, and since it's urgent, I'll get the job done first. Once this is all over, you better explain everything clearly. If it all goes well, will tell you everything I know. Alright, so not directly below us, but like each area has one, I guess. So we have to go visit these areas. Got it. Nothing like a world quest to have you visit every area intentionally. Why can't we get into it? We can find another way. Does this catapult us in? Yep. Transformed alligator condensed body. Dangerous liquid that has been modified somehow by the energy falling from the condensing components. If you remain within such a load too long, you will accumulate turbulent energy flow. If you hit the accumulation limit, all your characters will drown. Oh, and then getting it fixes it. Okay. That's one down, I guess.
Yes.
Gotta find all the purple blocks. Find our way into all the purple blocks. I don't know if we've been below this one yet. We have not. Some Sealy here too. Okay. Any reason to blow that up, or is there anything in there, or is it just kind of there? I guess it was just kind of there. We need to find a blue block. To power up the first of the circuits. Where's the Sela? Why are you trapped in there? How did you get trapped in there? I don't understand. Oh, well, there you are. Okay. There you are. Okay. The rock's there. Where are you taking me now? Now you're trapped again. Where's the purple block I need? Where's the purple block? Can't do anything with this stuff until I get the purple block to power up that. Oh, well, there's one there, though. Maybe I can without the purple block. No, couldn't do that one. This one, though. This one? There we go. Hopefully that will open this one. No. You still need the purple block. It's not in there, though. Alright, well, we'll find the purple block. Where's the purple block hiding? It's usually not too far away from where it needs to be. It'll be underneath, I guess. Let's see. Over here? There it is. Hide and seek. Always the hide and seek with the Usas and the Lumas. Hopefully that will. Okay. Well. So I think I need to take that one. I need to go over here. Over here. That one. That one there. And then I want to try to get it. Down here, maybe? I don't know. It's trying to send it over there, but I don't know how to see that one. Well, you can just barely see it. There we go. That should do it. There we go. Whew. That wasn't straightforward. that should be everything in this area. Leave. And now I need to do some more title blocks. To solve a puzzle before we can even get in.
Yep.
Ooh, battle challenge. Nowhere in here. Okay. Is it inside? It's over there. What just happened? It's there.
Hi.
天道万象
おい。あ、ふう。よっ。さよなら。ふう。
Back into the water. Combat.
岩山八九
この剣はわかるかい？股間奥義。はっ、やば。おい、よっ。あった。よっ。ふう。行こうか。ふう。はっ。ほっ。
Now we're on another platform. Okay. So many things going on. Alright, now we can get in. Alright, now we've got in. Now it's a time trial. Now it's a race. Let's see it on the bottom. Unfortunately, that doesn't. The timer goes away once we're in there. All the pick-me-up spots reset, I guess. Interesting. Okay. Are they not going to help us get to the next one? I guess they're not. Those are not terribly reachable. Alright, well, we'll hop back up. We'll go from here. Alright, another purple one. Purple bad. Engaging it back. Purple energy bad. Great. This one, of course, is a puzzle. Great. They said let us take times to rest. Alright, gotta go in. Gotta go up. Okay. back in, I guess. Oh, I don't know where the bubble went. No. There's the bubble. And that's our thing. Yay, we saved that A. Alright. So I think we already solved this puzzle. Alright, one more to solve. I don't think I can fly to that one directly, though. So I have to go back up to the top. Excuse me. You miss. Sneezing on mic. Not fun. When in doubt, just fly there. They give us wings, we might as well use them. Seriously? How am I supposed to get over there? I don't know. Oh. Supposed to pop them. Oh, wrong person. Oh, don't dash off the edge. Oh my. Good thing it's not actually slippery. And now we should get in. Okay. In we go. Okay, in we go, maybe? There we go. In we go. Cutscene. Gotta find it. Alright. That's all the little contraptions. Don't see anything of interest in this bubble. So we already got it all. Alright. We have item descriptions I'm going to read really quick. We'll have to give this stuff back. And we also found these. Mysterious goo green ore. Ore of the same type seems to. We do have those. The condenser component once installed with the Arcanum inhibitor. According to Ramondo, after they are all installed, the inhibitor can be restarted. We'll get this stuff in and get to the boss fight. Where are you? Oh, we have to go to there. I thought it was part of the machine. Fine, we'll go to the machine. To the actual boss. Because it makes sense. Straight to the boss. That Mr. Knacker really knows how to create trouble for others. Just like that boss of his, Edwin Eastinghouse. What are you doing here? We really can't catch a break here. Not only did the explosion break off the condensing components of the device, it also destroyed the self-sustaining system of the inhibitor. I'm about to remove the two backup pneumosis cores in the experimental field generator and use them to supply energy to the inhibitor. Luckily, this big fella can't move, otherwise we shouldn't have time to run. Knock on wood, don't say like that. What if it actually does start moving? Don't worry, its main sensibility is that big chunk of archaeotherm behind him. Although the archaeotherm has transformed into an activated state, the explosion damaged all of the energy supply lines, so it's lost all of its energy supply. Huh? The Arcanum kinetic core should be right here. Where did it... hold on. You said the Mimosa cores were a backup energy source. And it's the activation condition for backup energy sources is the complete loss of energy. Uh-oh. One way to turn it off now. Oh boy. Feel like a big explosion's about to happen, yeah, I was gonna say. Oof, another big explosion. Oh my goodness. An interesting boss. Oof, it stopped. I knew you could do it. Quick, grab those two cores. Let's bulk up the power. Just like before, if you connect the energy source, it'll adjust the device. Oof, okay. Bad purple energy gone. Finally, it's stabilized. The Archaeum has transferred into an inert state, and we in the Fontaine Research Institute are safe. For now. But it seems like there are even more secrets. As for the things you'd like to know, I'd be happy to answer, but not right now. What I can tell you, based on the hypothesis, is that Mr. Knacker stole the Arcanum kinetic core and triggered this small explosion. But before explaining too much detail, we should return to the Institute and place the proper notation and partitions into this interlude. Or at the very least, we need to stop Miss Journalist from getting more deeply involved. The Arcanum kinetic core is connected to too many other matters. We must handle it in complete confidentiality. So I would like you to cooperate with my work. Cooperate with your work? You're not saying you won't play it. You want us to play along with your lies, are you? The scarier something is, the more you should share it with others, and then we can work together to deal with it faster. I have my doubts about that, you two. Every matter has its own way of being dealt with, and in this instance, we must first call for silence. But I promise that it would never turn you steer from your moral standards or demand that you have the same standard of behavior that we do. All I ask is for you to remain quiet. If you need not do anything else, you might be wondering why I would have you remain silent while telling you the truth. I'll just come out and say it now. Your coming here is the only good fortune that our institute has had in nearly 100 years. No matter what happens, or what the cost is, we must maintain good relations with you. I'm sure Miss Clossel feels the same way. So, is telling the truth also a cost as far as you're concerned? Yeah! You're just telling the truth now, which you should have done ages ago. What sort of cost is that? Dear lady, Paimon, telling the truth honestly is, in truth, the greatest price one can pay. Let's go back. I ask sincerely for your understanding and provide all necessary cooperation. So I did not suspect Mr. Naxer would be, or Mr. Knacker would be the bad guy. That was actually a surprise to me. It's a pretty big surprise for me. Oculus. Gotta quench that. Blitzel's in chat. Miss Clonda, everything we do in the best interest of the people of the Court of Fontaine. So what you're saying is the Fontaine Research Institute predicted the explosion just now? Are you kidding? Do you think that I'm a Gastonia? Can you not hoodwink me so easily? I think Mansour Glusa has expressed himself clearly enough. The situation is still under control. The status quo of the Court of Fontaine will not be adversely affected. Now, allow me to make the statement explaining the events that really occurred. That's enough, mister. I don't believe you for a second. Traveler, you should have seen everything, right? I'm begging you. Tell me the truth. I'll tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'm all ears, my dear traveler. You tell Clorinda everything that's happened, from beginning to the end, without omitting anything. About the large Archeleon and the experimental field generator. About Nakher, who is missing and could be alive or dead. About Ramondo's accusations of him having stolen the Arcanum kinetic core. And of course, what Ramondo cares most about, the central library ruins that could explode again at any time. I'm shocked, Mr. Clouseau. Were you aware of this? Of course. Oh my goodness. So the Fontaine Research Institute doesn't even have the courage to face their own mistake. Just cover up the fact you could have dealt with the Arcanum. You couldn't deal with the Arcanum problem. You did absolutely everything you could. What I find most surprising is that you even tried to trick the Traveler, who has been doing their utmost to help. You even wanted to use the Traveler's credibility to convince me that Nakher was behind all of those crimes. Huh? Clorinda, did you really understand? I completely understand everything, dear Paimon. Thank you for dropping such subtle hints for me. Hints? Did we drop any hints? Of course, I know what the Institute really wants to hide. The fact that the central laboratory ruins can explode at any time. Or to put it another way, that Arcanum is still a threat to the entire Court of Fontaine. Ridiculous. A person's life isn't something you can throw away to help spread your own lies. I have already told you the truth, Miss Clorinda. Please, listen to a final word of advice. It takes only the slightest bit of effort to fixate on something, but it always takes more brain power to avert your gaze from it. Enough! I won't listen to another word you say, or will I dwell on this. Your words, deeds, and the facts concealed by the Institute will be reported on the next issue of the Steamboat. Good day, gentlemen. As Clorinda strides away from the Fontaine Research Institute. Thank goodness it's finally over with. Oh, and thank you too, Traveler. I didn't do what you asked me. I thought you would... You thought I would throw a tantrum and scold you for not doing what I said. My dear Traveler, Since the very beginning, your job has only been to escort the researcher to the ruins for an expedition. What I asked you to do was above and beyond the call of duty. It would have been great if you'd kept your silence, as we would have saved a lot of trouble in the future, yes. But it is not necessarily bad that you told her the truth. I believe now that Miss Clernda has gotten what she wants, she will not bother us again, for the time being. But she'll tell the public everything. I believe she will do that. I hope the people of Fontaine would like the truth she publicizes. But as for us, we still have much to be concerned about. For example, the whereabouts of Mr. Naka, the Callum kinetic core. Shouldn't we first give you a few awards first? Mr. Closel, would you do the honors? Oh, of course. That's right. We've already prepared everything. There's a certificate, trophy, and forms of remuneration, too. Before that, let's take a group photo together. The one that took before had an unseemly explosion in the background. This new photo must be decent enough for the worthy of your status as an honorary senior researcher. The two stand in the same position as before, and an institute researcher takes a photo for everyone. Perfect. Look at us. Decent bunch of decent people. An ostentatious award ceremony has finally ended. The scene is just not explosive enough. Hey, stop it! No more exploding! Any more explosions, the Paimons are going to have nightmares. This certificate and trophy are for you. I'll post a copy of the certificate in the Institute bulletin board later. I hope our researchers will follow your example. On this path, you must strive to take the lead, overcome all obstacles, pull in 120% of our... Actually, I have more questions for you. Of course, I know that you want to ask, even though your questions are all extremely complicated. I'm willing to answer them. In any case, I believe that we have more opportunities to work together in the future, honorary senior researcher. Research Chronicles. There's our trophy. It's funny. Is there something I can help with you? Why do you think that Nakar is still alive? Considering the interests of the Institute and my personal point of view, I do, in fact, hope that both he and the kinetic floor were obliterated in that explosion. That would mean that the last traces of Edwin Edding's influence here would be gone for good. But, as I said earlier, that explosion was actually a small-scale Arcanum fragment resonance. Moreover, most of the Arcanum fragments in the explosion radius were ore waste that have been fully depleted of energy. Logically speaking, even if a large Arcanum chunk had gone out of control, causing the ore to waste too resonant, such violent explosion should not have occurred. The only possibility is someone specifically collected Arcanum that was not been depleted from other areas and piled them here. They only overload that large Arcanum chunk on purpose to create an Arcanum resonance as to trigger the explosion to cover up certain traces that would have existed otherwise. Nakar has always conducted research with Edwin and has a good understanding of the nature of Arcanum. I wouldn't take much for effort for him to do something like this. Still, that's just my preliminary conjecture. As for what happens next, we'll need to wait for the Research Institute to conduct more detailed investigation. But why did he steal the core? This Arcanum kinetic core is the most cutting-edge technology created by the Fontaine Research Institute to date. It wouldn't be a bad idea to sell it or use it in the development of another project. But considering this level of academic expertise, I'd rather he sell it than for a good price. It isn't an honorary researcher. Welcome. Can I help you with anything, or we come and help me with something instead? About the Institute's current state. Everything is good, better than ever. Now that every erratic, egomaniac Edwin is gone, the gang of thieves under him no longer exists either. More importantly, the Institute has a chance to be reborn. We can take care of the shackles and burdens of the past to focus wholeheartedly on building our foundations once again. That is, to work hard for the well-being of all the people of the Court of Fontaine. I'm currently gathering some people preparing a code of conduct for our organization. It will include principles of the use of funds, research asset management, methods, and ethical standards that should be observed in scientific research and work. All research-related behavior in our institute will have relevant rules and provisions. Ah, what a wonderful future. It is simply the best. something else. Okay. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that. He has so much to say. I don't know. Oh, but I should probably read it. I'm going to read it. Alright, let's ask him. About the core. Before we discuss this further, I believe Mr. Nicker or Mr. Kalunda must have mentioned something to you already. They must have told you that the research projects and those of Edwin had some overlap. But this is not entirely accurate. In fact, this Arcanum kinetic core is the fruit of my joint research with him. In theory, if we constantly inject this kinetic core with enough energy, it can easily allow the experimental field general to run at full power. After creating this core, we both realized a problem. We would barely find any way to keep injecting it with enough energy to keep it at maximum power. Edwin and I tried powering it with Mixture of Nemusia and Arcanium energy, or by conducting large numbers of Arcanium ores in the series to create a super powerful group, but neither worked. That was the situation until we found that giant Arcanum. Although it was always an inert state, Edwin and I were certain this ore had unprecedented purity. We believed that with the right treatment, this ore could definitely output the large amount of energy we needed. But Edwin had a disagreement with me. I authored up a more conservative proposal, but he wanted to solve the problem more quickly. You should know everything else what happened after that. About Edwin. He was a genius in the field of scientific research, and no exaggeration to say his talent was only second to our first director, Ali Ngutini. At the same time, he was an inhuman monster. Nothing mattered to him other than his scientific research. Edwin was willing to do anything or pay any price to advance his research. He once told me that research results were the only remuneration he needed. Still, he said, "I don't need any remuneration. To me, research itself is the best reward." However, even though Edwin was a pure researcher, the people under him were all experts in furthering their own interests. That is, some secretly sold research assets, others plagiarized the research results, and some used its steam to scam others. They ruined the Fontaine Research Institute's reputation, little by little. Like I said before, as long as his research could advance, Edwin couldn't do anything about this. In this way, they used Edwin's name to take all the Institute's resources for themselves. The Institute could only continue to conduct detailed reviews on the personnel and funding of Edwin's project team, and Mr. Klosar led many of these reviews operations personally. However, in the mouths of such people, these actions were constructed as bureaucratic arrogance and distrust of researchers. More and more conflicts took place between us, and no one knew how to resolve them. But now, those conflicts no longer exist, as the people no longer exist. Not as people, at least. About the current situation. Your question is not a technical one, but rather an administrative one. I think you should ask Ms. Clarisol about this instead. There's something else. Why do you think Nakar stole the core? Do you still remember me flipping through the pictures of Miss Clorinda took in the ruins? There's one of Nakar working in front of the suppression device. It's quite blurry, but I am quite certain his actions were definitely not part of any operational behavior. That doesn't really mean anything, though. Maybe a thief came flying across from the nearby mountain and stole the core. That is most definitely impossible. The energy flow from the Arcanum here is the best anti-theft measure there is. No ordinary person can understand it. Besides, the timing of the experimental field generation's activation is simply too perfect. It cannot be a mere coincidence. I have a preliminary conjecture. Nakar, or should I say, the one who sold the core, likely removed the Arcanum kinetic core early on, activating the backup energy source. However, Nemosa's cores are relatively inefficient energy sources, and they have to keep up a continuous output of energy to reach the activation threshold of this contraption here. Hence, this person intentionally activated that large Arcanum chunk, creating a modest but rather noticeable explosion. This way, when the Institute sent someone to investigate, they would be certain to fix the Arcanum inhibitor first. And by the time they realized that they'd have to go to the experimental field generator to retrieve the backup energy supply, the generator will have already finished charging. From a technical perspective, the such modus operandi is highly probable, and those within the Institute capable of doing this would only be Edwin, Mr. Naka, and myself. I doubt Edwin had the opportunity to do anything of that effect, which leaves the two remaining suspects, myself and Mr. Naka. Then maybe it was your doing. Yeah. You said that Ecker lied. But you've also been lying all along. Maybe this is all part of your plan and you tricked us into escorting you there so you could grab whatever it is you wanted. Your accusations are not entirely tasteless. After this, I will also apply for and submit myself to the Institute's credibility review. As far as I'm concerned, though, Mr. Knacker is the more likely to have committed this act. If it is really his doing, then he should be the one with the most to gain from it. Even if I am listed alongside him as a suspect, his chances of being convicted are certainly greater than mine. Okay.